Hey there, actor friends. It's Michael Kostroff. Being back on stage as I am now, it has occurred to me that there are some basics of what I would call not stage etiquette, but stage sense. Um, some 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 techniques and ethics of being on stage with other people that I take for granted because I guess I accumulated them in early training or early experiences, and I'm going to try to pass some of those along because it's interesting when they don't show up, and they can be very valuable and helpful to the storytelling. Today, I want to talk about something that I call it take the spotlight slash be the spotlight. And it has to do with helping the audience know where to focus. It helps the story because it helps people know what's important on stage. Um, when there's a moment that I'm responsible for, either I have a line or I'm doing something that I know is pertinent, I will often do something like a movement or a gesture or something that will help them come over to me. Um, Sometimes it's a small shift of the body uh, or something or making sure that the line comes in crisply and boldly. When it is not my moment, I am very, very disciplined about throwing the focus, erasing myself. Nothing to see here, so that the audience knows there's something else to look at. And I noticed myself doing it in this play, and I don't know when I picked up that habit, but I will say this in the vaguest possible sense. The absence of that is noticeable to me when there are actors who have not maybe picked up that particular technique, who might be busying themselves with other things, other activities, or coming up with things to do when there are more pertinent or more interesting or more crucial things going on other parts of the stage. Um, it really, really, really does help and support the story. If you are actually making a real major contribution to the storytelling when you throw your attention to the thing that you want the audience to throw their attention to. No one will ever know. You'll be an unsung hero. No one will ever know that that's what you're doing. But you must know that is a very valuable contribution. Um, and there will be things built in with lighting. We do all kinds of things to guide the audience where to look. Um, when you encounter an actor who is not practicing that, you don't ever have to say anything to them. But something that you can, there's a silent way to teach them, which is that if they are trying to engage with you, you just ignore them and keep focusing on the thing that's important. Just keep focusing on the thing that's important. Just refuse to engage with them when the moment is not about them or about you. Just keep focusing on the thing that's important. They might catch on that is where the focus ought to go. And you're helping them and teaching them without being critical or giving a note or anything like that. Um, there's a wonderful moment in Laughter on the 23rd Floor, which is a play that I love. It's a play about a room full of TV comedy writers. And there's this great setup where there's one guy who's always late and always comes in complaining of an ailment. So they get word that he's on his way. Everybody else has arrived, and here comes this guy. And they say, you know what? Let's just sit there. Whatever he says, whatever he does, nobody just sit there. No matter if he seems like he's on death's door, we're just going to sit there. And so they park themselves in the chair, and in comes this guy, And you don't take your eyes off him because the whole cast, if it's directed correctly, is just watching him. And he goes, "Oh, okay, all right." And he goes through this whole thing about, I had this condition and I called the doctor and then he wasn't in. So I left a message. And, if it's this, call my wife. And don't call my mother. She drives me crazy. A whole long, wonderful Neil Simon monologue where he's focusing on all the things and listing all of his doctors and then all of the conditions and all the experiences that he had that morning and blah, blah, blah. And when it's directed just perfectly, towards the end of his monologue, he does like a camera pan, and it gets a huge laugh because you've forgotten about everybody else in the room. You're concentrating on him, and he goes, "Are you all going to just sit there?" And it's a huge laugh because we've all forgotten about those other people. So the focus shifts. He shifts the focus to these other people. And now the audience pans over and goes, "Oh my God, we forgot about these guys. They're all just sitting there listening." It's a beautiful moment. It works like cinema, and it has all to do with where the audience is focused. If any of those people had moved an inch during that monologue, we would have lost that laugh. So it has everything to do with that. So yes, take the spotlight when it's helpful to the storytelling and the audience. Be the spotlight. It's not just about not upstaging, which is very much is, but it's contributing. It goes beyond not upstaging. It's contributing to the audience's focus. I have religious fervor about this practice. I hope you will adopt it and make sure that it is part of your onstage demeanor. That's my thing. Do you guys do this? I want to hear from you. As always, I'd love to know. Are they teaching this? Is this part of a thing that you know about? All right. Let me know, and I'll see you next week. All right. Bye.